So, hello all from me, and a very good evening from here. And I wish a very good day to those who have a daytime. And from here, India, that's me, Dr. Indu, and I am the face behind this page, and all you see is my beautiful guests out here. So, thank you all for joining. And we have very special guests who are all, and incidentally, today we have so many dog pruners or dog mom pruners, digital pruners. So we have, I'm joined by Dr. Susie, Dr. Ruchika, and Dr. Dharani. So before we move further, ladies, can we have your individual introductions, please? Ruchika.
Good evening in India and good morning in Canada. I'm from Calgary, Canada. I'm a family physician. Been a family physician for about 10 years, and I'm mother of two boys, adult boys. And right now, I'm also a digital business owner, and that's how we are all in this live chat show.
Thank you so much, Ruchika. Dr. Susie, please.
Hi, I'm Susie. Thank you, Indu, for organizing this, and it's
My pleasure.
And it's our second time also. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So I'm Susie. I'm a general practitioner here in the UK, and I live here in the UK with my husband, who is a chef by background, and thanks to the business, he is boss free for 11 months now, and also with my 16-year-old daughter. So it's been a fantastic journey, and once I've joined, I've been in the business now just over 2 years, and it's no turning back for me now.
Wow. And Dr. Dharani, please.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Dr. Dharani. I'm also a general practitioner in the UK, just like Susie. And I'm also a mom to a teenager. My daughter is 15. I live in the UK with my husband and my daughter. And I've been in this business for about 1.5 years, and I'm loving it. And I love that I'm able to talk with doctors who are in the same business as me today. So thank you for organizing, Indu.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for having, come here on my insistence, because I wanted my audience to know that ladies who are doctors, already doing well in their profession and wanting to have a side hustle, a platform of this kind. So I hope we inspire a lot of people today once we share our journeys. So I'm going to put forward few questions. So my first question would be to Dharani. As a medical practitioner in UK, you've been working for quite some time. So, in general, tell me, does any medical practitioner require a side hustle, and if so, why?
Yes, of course. Great question. And a lot of us ask this, isn't it? You're all doctors.
Yes.
Why are you doing a
That is
business?
why I
You
put
need
this
a business.
question.
Yeah. And so definitely, I would say definitely yes. Our job is fulfilling. We are financially stable. There is no doubt about it. But a job comes with the limitations. At the end of the day, it's still a job, and you have to trade your time for money. It takes you away from your family or whatever you want to do, your hobbies or whatever you like. And also in this landscape that we are living in, like there's so many uncertainties, isn't it? We just came out of a massive pandemic, but also the job security is I don't think that any job has a job security these days. So I definitely think everybody should have, especially doctors who always have to trade our time for money, should have a plan B so that we can start imagining like having a life where we don't have to work until our late 60s so that we just have a comfortable retirement. So that the years where we worked, we went to medical school and then our postgraduate training, and then the years and years of exams and studying, where we missed so much of living our life. I don't want to do the same until I retire my late 60s. So that's why I wanted to have a plan B, a side hustle, an extra income stream, a backup at the same time also that gives me time freedom to enjoy life while I still can.
Absolutely right. Because Dharani, I think the pandemic was one of the eye openings for many of us. Can you imagine a situation wherein you're trapped inside a laboratory testing COVID samples for hours together, and you are scared for yourself, also scared of carrying the strain home? So that was one point that opened my eyes. My I have been working in a medical college. I have been a faculty. I also run my center. There's a small diagnostic center that we run, me and my husband. And people keep asking me, why did you start this digital business? So uh, when I try to tell them that, this is the thing that we have gone through. It's not that we don't love our professions, we adore it. But yes, there have been instances when we have felt apprehensive about exposures and everything. And having a side hustle, definitely, when you're sick or anything, even if you're running your own center or your own establishment, we know we are indispensable even for a day, right? You have to be there 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, you have to be around. So side hustle is good for everybody, including doctors, is what I feel. All right. So I wanted to, anyway, you answered that your reason for starting also along with this. Can I know, Dr. Susie, why did you start this business?
For me, it was basically like most of us. COVID was the basic eye opener.
Right.
And during COVID, it was just an unfortunate scenario where my husband was about to switch jobs. So he was without a job. I was the sole breadwinner. Then I was doing about 5 to 6 days a week. And, the more exposed you are to patients, yes, we did a lot online at that time, but still I was one of the doctors who was still seeing, patients face to face, because there were a few doctors who were much older, like nearing, in this
Yes.
coming to 70s. One was pregnant, one was asthmatic. So I was basically the one who was quite healthy. And I was like, and I kind of volunteer also to see. So
This
there's
has
only,
happened. This has happened, right? You're right.
so you're seeing all, like, at least once a week you're seeing all face to face. And then
Right.
you're still getting exposed quite a lot to the virus, and you don't know how this reacts. And people are dying. There was a time when lots of Black and Asian men were dying in UK. Then I was
Absolutely.
having the fright of my life. What if I bring it home and affect my husband? And you have all these things. And I was like,
Yes.
but at that time when I was looking, can I actually not go for work? And the answer was no. I'd lose my
No.
house.
No.
I would lose my
Yes.
house. I had to pay the mortgage. Whether it's a pandemic or not, you have to pay your bills. You have to, buy food and everything. And thankfully, thanks to God, like, everything was smooth. Everything went smooth. None of us caught COVID. Thank God for that. And, and then I'm also in the community. I do a bit of long COVID. I bridge the gap between, in the community and in the secondary care. And, there are still people in my books from 2020 who have long COVID and lost their jobs, lost their identity, lost money and everything. So you're seeing this firsthand. And, it came to me that it could have easily been me, and it's just by the grace of God that it wasn't. But it could have been me. And we are only getting older. And as you get older, your immunity goes down. Now, after COVID, I'm catching everything. I wear mask all the time now when I see patients, because if I forget one day, if I go to the nursing home, forget one day, then I'm having a sore throat. So, and because you're getting older, That's the natural thing. So
Obviously.
next time, if there is a pandemic, once it's happened, what's the guarantee that won't happen again?
It won't happen again.
And will you be that lucky for the next strain or whatever comes out? So for me, that was like a real eye opener. And if I had long COVID, lost my job, then, it's the same story as my patients. I would have lost my identity, lost my income, lost the house. And that was frightening for me. Oh, what if anything happened to my family members? It was really frightening. And I was like, no, this is not good.
Such a scenario. How about you, Ruchika? What made you start this business?
Well, I'm pretty new in the business, 4 months into the business. And I completely agree with Dr. Susie and Dharani about the COVID part, which was really scary everywhere, including Canada. And yes, my income is totally dependent on how many patients I see, and every day I have to show up to get the income for my family. So it was a pretty tough time. I don't know, we all are saying the same thing about change. Change is something that is there, you cannot predict a change, and it's our life is changing every day, and we don't know what's going to happen next day, right? For example, I'm going to give you a very quick example. Did you notice I lost electricity in Canada?
Okay.
There's no power right now. So
I thought
this
this happened only in India.
everywhere to everyone. And my main reason, when I'm actually, I also was practicing in UK about 10 years ago. I moved to Canada. So there was a big difference between how I worked in UK. I was having paid holidays, right? So when I came here, all my holidays are gone. If I take holiday, I'm really attached to my work. I have to be there to have, work for my patients and for myself, and earn some living, right? So it's
Right.
same thing as Dr. Dharani said, that we have to be present to be able to have that source of income. And I lost that completely. I have to, it's difficult for me to take time off. So I was looking for something which would be like on some kind of automation or something which I can do from everywhere. I don't have to be present at my work. So it was a constant search until I met Indu, and Indu introduced me to the business. I'm really, really thankful to you. And I also, same thing as was said in the past, in this by all the physicians, that we need to retire. We don't want to keep doing work till we are 70 and attached and, trying to earn for our families. So I wanted to supplement my income when I retire, so I have a comfortable, same standard of living as I am. I'm able to spend time with my family, travel back home, because that's something that I'm really missing, going back home. Okay.
I think we all have similar kind of things, elderly parents. We have put in so much of years in studies that we actually missed out on a lot of things. And just recently, I was discussing with one of my friends who's just started her practice, and she's much junior. So she was carrying a little girl to the clinic. I said, my son is almost 18. He just turned 18. So I was just telling her, I used to catch hold of his hand and go to the clinic and, keep him with me when he was just 2 years something. And poor boy, he would be with me from morning 10 to night, 9, 10, whenever we would wind up and come back. So we've actually missed out. And probably that is why when this COVID came and when you were like working full time, and then your friends or some relatives or cousins who were doing work from home, you started imagining, why couldn't I have something which could be done work from home kind of a thing. I think those are the things that came to our minds during that time. And Dharani, can I have a short reason why you started with the business?
Yeah, almost similar to all of you lovely ladies. I started a year and a half ago. I was very close to burnout. Like there was a day at work where I just like couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I was just sitting there in front of my computer, like, what am I doing? Like I was shaking. I had kind of like a mini panic attack at work, I think. And at that time, things were tough at home. I was working full time at that time. I was not there for my daughter. She was going through a crisis. I was not being able to be there for her. I was having a mini crisis myself at work. I decided, okay, enough's enough. And that was the line in the sand moment for me. So I went home, then worked next day and said, I'm going to cut down my hours. I'm going to go part time. And then I thought, okay, now what do I do with the bills and other things? So I had started looking up, what can I do? Something that doesn't take me away from home. And that is my why.
I understand. I think it's like almost a similar kind of things everybody goes through.
Yeah.
And it's just that one who realizes that this is something that I need to change goes for it. Although
right.
everybody has their own, hassles in life, but then it's that courage to take that leap, that courage to change, that willingness to change, that is what is most important.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. All the reasons that you all just explained, and I'm sure many who are watching us right now should resonate with this. And to Dr. Susie, I come across a lot of doctors who ask me, why did you start this digital business? And I hope, Indu, this is not a scam or something that you're doing. And they're too skeptical, too worried. So I've told them I have gone through, and I'm almost now like a year into the business, and I know how beautiful this platform is. So since you have been into this, and I know you're a coach and you've been rocking the business all these years, could you just explain a little bit about why one shouldn't, shouldn't be that skeptical? Skepticism is normal, but shouldn't be that skeptical, or why you should think about this platform?
Yeah, and I think being skeptical is natural. It's human nature. And first of all, people can be skeptical if they've had a very bad experience. Like, and we hear about these horror stories of people joining pyramid schemes or, being scammed by online, hackers and all those sort of things. So
Right.
people have to be vigilant. So we cannot say, oh, why are people too skeptical? It's very natural, and I think they need to,
Very
and
natural.
everyone needs to do their own research. So what we are trying to say here is not actually, yes, being skeptical is good, but don't let that skepticism paralyze you. And do not try to over analyze things. So here we are in a platform. Why are we coming out here? And we are 4 different doctors in different parts of the world coming out, being bold in social media. Now, like what we've all said, we've been doctors for years. Like I've been over 20 years. Indu, Dharani,
So 25.
probably 20 or even more years we've been all doing it. Do you think we will risk our profession? We've studied, to reach where we have all reached. We've studied. For me, I've actually even swapped from being a hospital doctor, then retrained to be a GP. So I really worked really hard to be here. And when people say, oh, is this a scam? I say, number one, we are registered with, our registration board, the GMC.
Yes.
If somebody says Dr. Susie is doing a scam, she scammed people of this much money, my registration next day is gone. I wouldn't be able to practice as a doctor in the UK. And let me tell you, Indu, I have worked too hard to get to where I am. To be that. So that's number one. So, when you see people of, professional caliber, whether it's a doctor, a nurse, a physio, because we all have registration board, lawyers,
Yes.
police, we have all, these checks and everything. Like we have something called BPS to check whether we have any criminal records, all those sort of things.
Absolutely.
So anyone who in that kind of caliber, we don't want to be risked to put into the category of saying that we've done something broadly. That's number one. So that should, most people, when I actually tell them that, I wouldn't do that. And actually, a lot of people, see me on social media. People at work see me, and I have different, I work in different places. Also, I'm in a commissioning level also as a, as a commissioning level, I do work. So I wouldn't risk that. Number one. So that, but then that doesn't mean I'm telling you to just, blindly follow us. No, there is a process into us knowing how this business works. Follow us, see what the process is, check out the webinars, look all into that, then take the next step. You have, 30-day trial. And then, if you like it, join others. And during that part, do your research and see whether it's something that you'd like to do. So there is a process to it. And then another thing is, we are just not online. We are representing reputable company. So that has physical locations, and it has
Offices and
numbers, all offices and things like that.
Yes,
Now and it's not just one office. It's in different parts of the world in different locations. So all that is there. So do your research. And then another thing I nowadays see is they're having skeptical spouses also. It's sometimes the partners okay, but their spouses are like, we don't want to, because for me, I had a skeptical spouse. I actually joined the business, I didn't tell him because I just joined the business after 2 weeks of joining. When the payment all went through, I told him, oh, well, he wasn't happy. I'll tell you that much. And we had a bit of an argument about, he's like,
That's
oh, you
normal.
won't. Yeah, you won't do this. You don't like taking photos. What are you going to talk in social media? That was his first thing. But I had come to a point, I was hurting so bad. I was like hurting so much that I was, my hurt overcame the fear of change. So I changed. Now I can't believe myself. And my husband was also the other day saying, I can't believe you after 20, we've known each other for 23 years. Now it's like after 23 years, you're like a new woman. I said, yeah, that's, and that's the thing, you can change if you want to. And I just told my husband, like, don't expect me to work till my late 60s doing, this, because working 5 to 6 days a week, I'm
Right.
getting tired, I'm getting older. And don't expect, one thing I've realized is don't, think that if you do the same thing, you're going to get a different result. That's not going to happen. That's foolishness. That is real foolishness. And I told him, and then I made a deal with him. I said, okay, give me some time. And if this doesn't work, I will take responsibility. I'll do the extra shifts and I'll get the money. Or I'll do something and get the money back. And that's where we left it. Then, of course, I got him involved in the business. I never
It's a part of the business now. It's a family business.
yeah, it's a family business.
It's a
So we
family
go
business.
out as a family and all, and he's changed. So that's the thing. So that's how you get involved. You communicate with people, show the potential, show the results. And that's what we do. We showcase ourselves. We show our results out. We say it's not just us. It's a community that it is there. Then communicate with your spouses, and then you have to know that this business will work for you also, isn't it? You have to have that belief also that you should.
And all four of us from wherever we are, we have joined today. All of us into medical professions, we all know money is not something that we would run behind, because it automatically comes with the profession, right? With the job that we and the profile that you're working in. So unless there is a very good potential about the business, we wouldn't go for a few thousands or something like that. So obviously the potential of the business is what attracts. The compensation plan is what attracts, and also this business goes as a legacy to your further generations or to your children. So, and I always tell people this business has three kind of incomes. There is something that you're actively working, there is something that's passively coming to you, and then there is this fixed that you're going to achieve in the business once you reach a particular level, which is like really awesome. When you really do not want to go into the clinic or sit among the patients, and you really want to have a holiday, when the money pours in, is what's the beauty of that attracts maybe anyone. So thank you so much for that
And there's a
answer,
fourth
Dr.
one. Once you're a coach, there's another stream.
Yes, once you're a coach, Dr. Susie will be able to tell. Okay, Ruchika, before we run out of time, I would like to ask you something. You said and by the way, Ruchika, I've known her for so many years. We've been very good friends, and we stayed close to each other once. And she's my mentee, and she's just rocking the business. I'm so happy about her. I'm
Thank
very
you.
happy for you, although that's what I want to tell. And so,
Thank
Ruchika, how has this business benefited you? Although you've been into the business for a short time, you said, but how has it benefited you? Apart from the money, that's apart
right,
from
yeah,
the income.
of course, yeah. I feel that I've got a sense of direction somewhere, because I felt the same about how long am I going to work, and how are my next 10 years going to be till I retire? How can I be very, very healthy, have a good stream of income, like mentally I'm very calm, and how can I achieve all those things together? Because time is always the most difficult thing we
Most
come
difficult.
across, because we are always working. So I feel that I'm more calm, I have a sense of direction, I'm more confident. I can never imagine 4 months ago I would be doing an interview with you. I would see your interview and I said, how does Indu do that? Like how is it
Indu, which
possible?
school did she get trained from?
So,
So,
this is like
when I joined the business and I've seen these ladies online and doing interviews, no, I would be really amazed. And I knew I would not be able to do this. I just can't do this. I had this feeling. So my coach would tell me, my mentor would tell me, just go live, Indu, just go live. No, and it took me so much of time to even go for one live. Can you imagine? And today I'm so happy to be exploring this business because I learned so many things out here. And having met wonderful ladies like you too.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So, thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. And before we, dismiss this meeting, and I really had a wonderful time chit chatting, and I hope my audience too liked. And some of them must have definitely got inspired seeing this. Any words of advice any one of you would like to give to the audience who's watching or who will watch this replay later?
So yeah. Anyway, thank you all, ladies, for that wonderful chat. It has been an amazing time to hear, and it's always nice to know other people. We all have the same journey. Sometimes when we are in that shell, depressed and in that shell, we think we are the only ones going through this. But when we are in this community, we come to know that you're not alone. We have kind of like the same struggles, the same human struggles, and I'm sure people watching this replay or watching it live now have the same thing. And we are here to give you some hope. Basically, we're here to give you hope that there is a way outside from the 9 to 5, outside from the mold that you've been taught, like to go to school, study well, go to uni, do a professional course, and then your life will be sorted. We are four ladies to say that we've reached in our studies, career, we've reached the pinnacle of things, but still we feel that emptiness, that we've missed out on a lot of things. And this business has given us opportunity for a second chance. I've gone on more holidays than I can imagine in this last 2 years. Last month alone, I traveled 3 countries. Yeah, 3 countries I've traveled, and it was a complete business expense. When you are, people don't realize the importance when they are an employee. You get taxed, and then you spend that money. When it's a business expense, it's an expense before you get taxed.
Right.
So you can save a lot of money. So that's number one. But forget about that. So you can regain lost time, spend more time with your family, but just give yourself an opportunity. So there's so many people like us doing it. So why can't you? So you can. And so the next step would be just touch base with one of us, whoever wherever you're watching us, and we will give you the link for a webinar. It's a free webinar. Watch it, see whether it's for you. It will tell you what the next step is. The next step would be paying $149. And again, it's a 30-day money back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. And again, we'll explain our business model in detail. And if you're interested to know, to take the next step, and that's it. And all I can say, it's been life-changing for me. And I hope to see you all on the other side. Over to you, Indu.
Thanks so much, Dr. Susie. Whatever things that you just spoke, I just want to add a bit. This business has even given us an opportunity to help people just like us, to show them this opportunity, the potential it holds, and what, as Dr. Susie said, going holidays, money never becomes a restraint for us maybe, but time does. Taking off for a week or 5 days or 1 week is like a luxury. So thank you so much. And I look forward for having you all again, maybe some in a few days. And thank you all for watching us. And as Dr. Susie said, all those who have been watching can connect to any one of us. We'll be very happy to help you and guide you through the further steps. So thank you, and bye-bye. Good night from me.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.